with us.
Yeah, we're going to have your code and your ticker on this network, and you can't stop it from being traded.
Right.
And so there's a derivative, and then if there's liquidity bonding the prices together, so if, let's say you have Chainlink on Ethereum, and then after launch, price bounces around a while, but I bet that over time that these prices will move similarly.
Right.
I think that the Link ticker on Pulsechain is likely to move similarly to the Link ticker on Ethereum.
Right. Just because of the bridge, right? And
well, because they're bonded by the liquidity.
Right.
And then it's the same code with the same ticker. Now, do you want to pay $100 or $300 to trade it on Ethereum, or do you want to pay a penny to trade it over here? And we already know this answer because they're doing it on other networks as well.
Yeah.
People do trading on alternate networks, and then we're the one that you don't like. Your coins are already here. You don't even have to bridge over.
Right.
You've already got your free coins here. You can already access them by changing one setting in your MetaMask. It's awesome.
Dude, it sounds
well.
It sounds pretty awesome.
Well, that's the trick. That's the magic. Is you launch this whole network with all these new coins. How do you get those new coins to be valuable?
Right.
But by not letting anyone ever stop the trading, by having the same tickers, and by giving people a reason to back the value of the things they got free.
Right.
By rewarding them with a yield farming token. It's like a giant vampire attack, basically. It's a giant vampire attack.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another day, another live stream. Richard Hart and the future Pulsechain. That's our topic for today. So hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to get into a few other things as well. So get into the chat, make it lively. And of course, if you're new to any of the channels that we're streaming on, streaming over 10,500 subscribers on 3 YouTube channels, Hex Token channel, Pulsechain X, and of course, a Superman Crypto. So a big shout out to all the subscribers on those channels. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, smash it now. Hit the like button as well and share the channel around. It really does help. All right, let's see who's in the chat here. We got Lies Beneath in today. Hello, how are you today? Hey, not too bad. I mean, what's it? It's the we finished winter yesterday officially. It doesn't mean we get much better weather for the next month or so, but it's good to be outside of winter now. So kind of cool. It's overcast outside. Hello all. How Pulsex incentive for the win? 100%, and that is the future of Pulsechain. So we're going to be talking more about that soon. We've got Sandy Beach in the house there. Hello, Hex Token, everybody. Good to see Sandy Beach back in the house after all those road trips and holidays and birthdays. It's great to see Sandy back on deck. We got Hex Eddie in the house as well. Hello, RH and Hex Token family. The future is looking bright for Pulsechain. Woo! I think so. I think it's the accumulation zone. Accumulation has been very, very long. But I think if it's going to pay off for people that really do, do that. We've got a poll up at the moment, of course. So get in there and vote. What are you doing on Pulsechain at the moment? Buying, DCAing, or dollar cost averaging, hodling, selling, or unsure of what to do, which is often a lot of people have that position as well. So let's see where that ends up later on when we get up to the Pulsechain section of the show. Let's see who else has jumped in there. RH looks good. Buff. Yeah, I love that. The thumbnail is so good. That picture of Richard Hart buffed up someone. That's a really, really cool. It actually suits him quite well. I thought it looked pretty good. Morning all. Back to the community this week. It's time to load up, says Unpredicted Hex. I like it. Yeah, starting to see a lot more people in the Pulsechain community at least starting to look to very bullish to DCA back in and start buying up now. I just think that there is a bit of a tone difference, bit of a sense in the community that it's really, if you haven't been buying already, it's time to start loading up. So yeah, pretty cool. Scott Jackson house there. Good morning, everybody. Hey Scott, hope you're doing well. Good to see you in the house there. We got Drix as well. Hey Drix, always a pleasure to have Drix in the chat there. Big shout out. Brendan as well, our TA guru and one of our moderators. Morning, Superman and family. Hey Brendan, hope you're doing well. Good to see you in the house there. And yeah, fight, Brendan. Fight. We're going to talk about that later on. We got Wookie in the house. Wookie is the new dream. He's a dream. He's a dream. He made spaghetti and meatballs last night. Man, did it look good. It looked damn good. Now, Wookie used to do, I think, being a chef in one of the most famous tourist towns in the world, Queenstown. And, of course, a big holiday place in the snow and the mountains. So a big shout out to him. What else do we got? Craig Pitt in the house there. Morning all. Hey Craig, good to see you as well. It's always great to see the familiar names are in the chat there. Big shout out. Sandy Beach says Drix has an awesome song too. Oh, really, Drix? Oh, you should drop it in the Discord, maybe in the non-cryptos chat. That'd be pretty cool to see that. All right, let's get into it, folks. We've got a lot to talk about. Richard Hart and the future of Pulsechain. We're also going to talk about the Federal Reserve today because that came out. They had their meeting, and that was a July meeting. So we're going to talk about that's very bullish. The outcome. So we're going to talk about that. Before we do that, though, let's get into a bit of admin and stuff like that. And just to give that, we haven't done this for a while, but if you haven't joined, subscribe. Definitely subscribe to the channels, Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto or Hex Token. Definitely get out there, folks. Obviously, we're streaming virtually every day. You can see all the videos there ticking away there, past live streams. So get in there and show your support and get more great discussions. If you like talking about Pulsechain virtually every day, then this is the channel to be on. So definitely do that. We've also got obviously a link pinned to the top there if you want to join up to the Discord. It is a private Discord, $5 a month, 16 cents a day, pretty good value. And of course, you can join up today for that. And we also have Strategy Club if you want to join up that. That's $35 a month. But general membership is $5 a month there, 16 cents a day. So join up to that today. And that is pinned to the top of the chat there and also in the video description if you want to hit us up there. So kind of cool. All right, so that is a bit of admin there. Let's move on into the actual results for the stock market. So the stock market, the S&P 500 rallies as the Fed signals September cut in play. So this is super bullish, folks. Everything is lining up for us very nicely this year. Yeah, there we go. Dow Jones up 0.25%, 100 points to 40,842. S&P 500 up 1.6%. 85 points to 5,500. The NASDAQ up a whopping 2.6%, 451 points to 17,600. Wow, after a few days of shedding some value, a real nice recovery there. Beautiful stuff. Dollar index there at the moment, pretty flat at 103.82. Let's go to the commodities. At the moment, West Texas there is up 0.9%. 70 cents to $78.60. Brent oil is pretty much flat at $81.53. Gold continuing to rise, up 0.7%, $17.30 for gold, and is now at $2,490. So basically $2,500 for gold. Silver also making a big move, up 0.9%, 26 cents to $29.19. And we're looking for big things for silver and gold later this year, maybe into next year. With the interest rate pivot, right, and a devaluing of the dollar, arguably, and that could be super bullish for those. And maybe target price silver, let's say $75 on the low range, maybe even 125 on the high range. It's going to be interesting to see that. Finally, the big rally that everyone's been waiting for silver could be ahead of us with that scenario. All right, so we did have good news today. The Fed gives the nod to inflation progress after keeping rates steady. The Federal Reserve left interest rates unchanged Wednesday, but acknowledged recent progress on inflation and cooling in the labor market, stoking investor hopes that the central bank could begin cutting rates sooner rather than later. And of course, here's the quote here. We think that the time for rate cuts is approaching. If we do get the data we hope for in September, then a reduction in our policy rate could be on the table in September. So that was from Chair Jerome Powell of the Federal Reserve. We got a little video clip of that, so let's play that too.
Whether the totality of the data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks are consistent with rising confidence on inflation and maintaining a solid labor market. If that test is met, a reduction in our policy rate could be on the table as soon as the next meeting in September.
So you don't get much more bullish than that. That is very bullish for the crypto markets in particular. We may see that typically when the interest rates do pivot, we see the stock market take profit. And so that could be a good thing just to correct the stock market a little bit anyway. But crypto could continue to rally regardless of that, as long as we only get a minor correction, 10%, let's say, in the crypto in the stock market, for example. All right, let's see. Fight is fighting, says Brennan. Fight is fighting. That's true. And there is Wiki's link to the Strategy Club there if you haven't want to use that one there to that helps Wiki as well. So big shout out. We got Colt in the house there. Man, deals everywhere today. Good day for Pulse. I agree. I agree with that, Colt. And a big woo from Wookie. Hey, Wookie. Good to see you excited today. All right, so that is bullish news around the stock market and interest rates. So things are going really well for us. Let's go to the Fed rate monitor to look where September is going to be. September is 6 weeks and 6 days away, so 7 weeks basically. That's quite a bit of time. But man, we're probably going to have the flush out during that period in the markets, and then the hyper rally that we're all expecting for the bull market. But you've got to see the market here, 100% of the market expecting a rate pivot now. 25 basis points is 88%, and 50 basis points is 12% of the market. So hyper bullish there. Let's have a look at what the rest of the year looks like at the moment. So yeah, we've got people expecting another rate cut. So there's 2 rate cuts built into there for November and December. December there, let's see, 5, maybe even 3 rate cuts. Man, that'd be pretty bullish. But let's go for 2 rate cuts at the moment, 50 basis points. But you never know. You never know. May get 3. That's possible. But let's go for 2 at the moment. All right, that leads us into crypto. Crypto is on the just retracing still. Bitcoin at $64,808, down 2%. Ethereum there at $3,242, down 1% at the moment. Everything's pretty much down. I mean, Solana's down 3.45%. XRP down 0.5%. ADA down 2.8%. Tron, Litecoin, sorry, is down 1.4%. Tron down 3.1, I should say. And BNB down 1.76%. So those are a lot of the leaders. Everyone's pretty much down again today. Bitcoin dominance is at 53.69%. So still holding in that range, pretty similar to yesterday. So that's pretty much it there. Let's just zoom in on Bitcoin though. Bitcoin at the moment, 64,714. Now the good news is that even though we've had this retrace the last 3 days, you can see that 1, 2, 3, all the way from 70K all the way down. We actually are still above the 50-day moving average. So that's good news. And we're still well above the 200-day moving average. The 50-day is at 64,300. And we're currently at 64,678. So we're above it still. The 200-day is at 59,519. Heading towards 60,000 is the 200-day. So we're still looking good there. And this yellow line, horizontal line, right, we want to hold that. That's definitely key. So this key zone here, pretty critical at the moment. Let's see if we can manage to bounce out of here today and tomorrow. So let's look for a turnaround potentially today. That is definitely possible. So that is where we are there at the moment. And of course, now we've got the bullish news around interest rates. So interest rate pivot there looking very, very likely. And that is not too far away, as we said, 7 weeks away. We can see that 46 days or so. That is ticking away there. Then the US election on the 5th of November. That is it. And of course, between that, we've also, September is normally the negative month. But of course, with the interest rate pivots, that may be positive in the second half of September. And then, of course, we've also got the October, which is normally bullish for crypto. So I think there's only out of all the, 14, 15 month period since the launch of Bitcoin, I think we've only had 2 months that have been negative in October. So October looking pretty good there as well. So yeah, looking very good in the final quarter, maybe even starting in the end of the third quarter for that big move. And we've actually still got a really nice base to move from here. So 100K, 150K, and definitely on target for this year. And we see people like Tom Lee bullish about that sort of price range, 100 to 150K. I get it, even heading towards 100K would be absolutely hyper bullish. So that's going to be pretty exciting to see that play out. And all you guys know that a lot of the percentage gains happen in a short space of time. And so we're looking for those big moves. All right, so it's going to be bullish for Bitcoin. And of course, we've also got meme coins on Bitcoin for the first season. Now we have got Dog Go to the Moon, which one we're backing. It is actually moving down in the big wedge. And so picking the price up now is very friendly indeed on Dog. 4.82 sats at the moment. So it's just above 0.3 of a penny. It is down 13% today at $312 million at the moment. So that's a very good pickup at the moment. We've got some others, obviously, in the top list there. They're all pretty much down as Bitcoin is moving down, as we saw earlier. But some good ones to pick up there. All right. We also see that the volumes, NFT volumes, which are in collections, we haven't talked about that much, are actually huge volume compared to a lot of EVM chains. So Bitcoin seems to be dominating there with the protocols there. So it's doing pretty well as well. I might talk about that in a different video. All right. So that is leading us into Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment sitting right in the middle between the 200-day and the 50-day. 200-day at 3,133, the 50-day at 3,340. We're right in the middle of it at the moment at 3,235, sitting right there nice and pretty. And of course, the Ethereum ETFs there have been around for about a week, so operating. So we'll probably do another focus on that tomorrow as well. 9 days into it on the Ethereum ETFs there. Looking pretty good. Now, Ethereum obviously is doing well, and we know the Magic Carpet Ride funds, about 170,000 ETH or so, is sitting in Ethereum. So that's a pretty big deal. The Ethereum and Pulsechain, we're talking about Richard Hart and the future of Pulsechain. This is a very connected Ethereum chain, and Pulsechain is way more connected. That Magic Carpet Ride connection is pretty big. And we can see that Richard Hart has been talking about it a lot. So just backing up that theme in honor of Ethereum ETF, he was dissing Saylor the other day on the 24th of July. A closet monopolist praying the state cripple competition, un-American, unpatriotic, and unbecoming. So really taking task to Saylor's position. Bitcoin, there is a second best. Of course, the Saylor saying that there's only one best. That is Bitcoin. Everything else is not. And of course, Richard here saying Ethereum ETF trading opened an hour ago. Now, obviously, Saylor said there was never going to be a ETF for anything other than Bitcoin. And of course, we see that is not the case now. And so that is really turned around, and they're advertising ETFs on the issuer homepages there, which we see as well. So iShares, for example. So pretty bullish there. The other thing that we see is that Richard's been talking about earlier in July, promoting Ethereum big time. Normally he promotes his own protocols, but he's promoting Ethereum here. So Ethereum is faster, cheaper, more secure. You can see that there. And of course, one Bitcoin used to get you 200 Ethereum. Now one Bitcoin only gets you 20 Ethereum, just showing you that change in value from Ethereum there. So yeah, he does. Richard not only promotes Pulsechain, but he does promote Ethereum. And of course, the Magic Carpet Ride's sitting on a ton of Ethereum, which could become $1 billion plus. So that connection between Pulsechain and Ethereum is very real. And here is Richard Hart promoting all that Ethereum connection. Obviously, the more people go in, he's playing his part, and it pumps the Ethereum. And of course, Ethereum could potentially pump into Pulsechain, right? Which is his a narrative that he's had before as well. We've played that video many times with the Ethereum to Pulsechain strategy, which seems to be playing out. So the future of Pulsechain looks bright from that point of view. He then ties in Hex into the mix. Hex, for instance, had 300,000 addresses on Ethereum, which hold Hex. For instance, people ran Hex code, gave decimillions of dollars to Ethereum miners and validators. It's one of the many projects to bring many users to Ethereum. Decentralized is great. So really tying in the Ethereum Pulsechain, and that is part of the future of Pulsechain, right? The Ethereum Pulsechain connection, the Magic Carpet Ride. And Richard Hart has been promoting that, as you can see, constantly here in July. He's been promoting that. Ethereum ETF marketing, guys. I hope someone sends you this. Ethereum is better than BTC in nearly every possible way. And of course, he's going on there as well. Ethereum is faster, cheaper, more secure. Lets you de-risk your stablecoins. Well, obviously, Pulsechain is a system state fork of that, based on the 10th of May 2023. So yeah, they're deeply tied together there. And Richard Hart has been promoting that as well. 23rd again, Ethereum is better than Bitcoin in all ways. The Ethereum ETF marketing guys aren't telling you, but should be. So he's really trying to help them tell about the advantages of Ethereum over Bitcoin. But we have seen some pretty good numbers come through the ETFs for Ethereum straight out of the gate anyway. Lower inflation, higher throughput, lower fees, more features, better for the environment, stronger roadmap, more secure, of course. And if you like that, you might like the free coins you probably have waiting for you on Pulsechain. If you had Ethereum or anything on Ethereum about 1.2 years ago, go Pulse there. So tying in Ethereum and Pulsechain has been Richard's thing. So if you're wondering about signals from Richard, he's been pushing them out in July, and it's pretty clear where he sits on this. So yeah, once again, 23rd, Ethereum ETFs are launching tomorrow. Grayscale just moved 1 billion Ethereum to Coinbase, etc., etc. So you can see the theme has been pretty strong with Richard, promoting Ethereum, obviously Magic Carpet Ride connection to Pulsechain, and all the same benefits, right? So from that point of view, except much less empty chain. Now, the only one thing I would say to that is we know that there's been a lot of layer twos, that have been doing pretty well, talking about Base and Solana and things like that, but they really are gambling chains. So yeah, a lot of people getting rugged over there too. So there's pros and cons to being over there. You certainly want to use a DGM wallet if you're over there, but if you want the tried and true, then layer 1 Ethereum, layer 1 Pulsechain, that is a winning combination. And of course, we've been in a long accumulation phase for that. So that is some of the Richard Hart stuff and the future of Pulsechain. A really important connection to make, just to see where Richard is signaling his support moving forward here. So kind of cool, really. In addition to that, of course, we also have altcoin rally news. So we've got positions here, people talking about potentially a big rally. So Kai Young Ju has reported a significant rise in limit buy orders for altcoins, signaling a potential rally. This is going to be bullish for Ethereum, bullish for Pulsechain. So kind of cool. The surge suggests that investors are establishing strong buy walls for altcoins, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, possibly in anticipation of an impending altcoin rally. And of course, we're all expecting that coming into October, into the fourth quarter. Whales are preparing for the next altcoin rally. Drew posted on X, the increase in limit buy order volumes indicate robust buy interest, which often precedes the market upswings. For those unfamiliar, limit orders create quote volumes on exchanges, while market orders generate taker volume. You can see there Ki Young Zhu there, Wales, a picture of this chap here, and of course giving that alpha there, so kind of cool. And he's got a little chart there, a limit sell and limit buy, so looking very, very good for that upside. Wales institutions such as market makers and brokerages typically use limit orders for large trades to minimize slippage. And that is the place. Altcoin rise as Bitcoin rises. During an altcoin rally, the prices of alternative crypto experience significant increase. The surge is often driven by positive market sentiment, increased trading volumes, and a shift of investor focus from Bitcoin to altcoins. Factors such as Bitcoin price movements, fear of missing out, and market speculation play crucial roles in an altcoin rally. When Bitcoin prices rise, profits often flow into altcoins, further boosting their prices. Limit orders indications are calculated by summing the difference between the buy and sell quote volumes over a 1 year moving window. An upward trend signifies the rise in quote buy volume, pointing to the formation of strong buy walls. This pattern suggests a bullish potential move in the altcoin marketplace. So that is a very, very exciting. And so what does that mean? Well, it means potentially Pulsechain asset prices at the moment, beautiful pickups. And we're not forgetting about the oral arguments case in October. We're not, still not forgetting about that. But really, things are looking pretty good from the market point of view. So maybe the base lifts up quite a lot there, and we can see that in meme coins. We've been having retraces in meme coins recently, and so that potentially offers, if you can time the bottom here, to pick up a lot of quality meme coins, Pulsechain, obviously, to pick up there. So pretty cool. We can see Dogecoin there at the moment, $17.8 billion. And so forth, and we can see double digits losses for some of the lower ones. Number 4, a dog with hat at 14 down 14% there, Floki down 10%. We got Mogcoin up 11% and Bohm up 16%. Popcat down 18% there on Solana, and obviously Cat in the dog's world, Mew there is down 9%, etc. So we see quite a few opportunities here, down 90% on Punky. What else there? Turbo down 9%. Dog, obviously, the one that we're picking for the winner. It is the top Bitcoin meme. So we're picking that for the bull market as Bitcoin has that hyper rally back towards trying to target 100K, 150K by the end of the year, just like Tom Lee and others have predicted there. And he was the only one to predict the S&P 500 last year. He was the only one to predict that right. So pretty bullish there on Dogs with Rune, and maybe this pickup at the moment down 21% for the week, 16% for the 24 hours is the one to pick off right now. So pretty exciting where this is going to head. And you always got to get that bottom after the pullback, and things are looking pretty good there. So that leads us into Pulsechain, of course. Pulsechain for day 446. We got Pulse at the moment, quadruple 0447, down 1.9%. We got Pulsex, however, is up, and I'm being very bullish about Pulsex at 1.9% there at the moment, quadruple 0252. The buy and burn continues to impress there. 933.4 billion Pulsex is bought up and burned. Remember, that's part of the superior tokenomics of the Pulsechain. 4.62% now is bought up and burned. And of course, we're looking for those next 2 milestones, hitting a trillion, a burn on the buy and burn, and hitting 5% as well. So that'd be pretty cool. And that doesn't include, of course, Power City's earn protocol there as well. So kind of cool with the stable coin. So we got incentive token at the moment, $2.55. It is up 0.4 of a penny. So the ratio has really moved up because the price of Pulse is down 1.9%. It's still positive, so that means that the ratio has gone up. 57,150 pulse per one incentive, and the incentive supply at the moment 38.4 million incentive tokens. They of course are created, as you guys know, every day from Pulsex V1 farms. We've got Hex at the moment is at 5500th of a penny, down 3.2%. Got to be the bargain at the moment to pick up is the old Hex. And then we've got EHEX at the moment at 1200th of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PX is sitting at 6700th of a penny. So a really good zone for accumulation of Hex there. So that's kind of where we are at the market. But look at Hex, look at Pulsex standing out there at 1.9%. Pretty interesting, for that move. So let's go to the charts and have a look at the daily. So we had a bit of a sell-off on Pulsechain over the last sort of 6 to 8 hours. We can see that on the hourly there. See that? It's the last 4, 5, 6 hours there. Bit of a sell-off that is reached the oversold there on Pulse. Moving to the 4 hour, the traders chart, we can see it's well oversold here, down 37. We can see it's been like that for some time in that low range. And of course, here it is at the moment at 44.65. And of course, looks like more likely to taper off and move up is where it looks there on the traders view. Looking on the daily, we can see that we have breached the 50-day or the 50% on the Fibonacci. We're slightly below that there, and we're sitting at 44.67 at the moment. The RSI is pretty cooled off at 44. We didn't manage to stop at around that 49%, but we're sitting at 44 there, and so on. So let's get rid of that Fibonacci for the moment. And we can see on the horizontal, we are sitting here pretty much near the bottom. So obviously we don't really want to fall below 4,300. We're just above that at the moment, but we have breached the 50 on the Fibonacci. So let's see where that heads. Obviously we don't want to go all the way down to 61.8 on the Fibonacci. So there we are. We've got to really hold this zone at the moment, and we do have support at 4,300. So we've got a bit more cushion in there as well. That is kind of where we are at the moment. Of course, moving forward, we've got obviously the bullish news out now regarding the interest rates. We've got Richard Hart's response to the motion to dismiss coming up on the 22nd of August. So that's 3 weeks away. And then, of course, there are all arguments there in the 22nd of October. Really, the only wild card is this argument, this one here. Everything else is bullish for Pulsechain. This is the one wild card there, the question mark over that. And then, of course, the US election on the 5th. So we're going to have, a pretty interesting time. October, of course, interest rate pivots in September. So really, the Richard Hart SEC is the only wild card there. Let's have a look on the Pulsex. Pulsex is looking really strong. So if you're wanting to pick up Pulsex, the stronger chart, then this is the one to look at. It is looking very good there. Quadruple 02500. We're well above that angular support. And on horizontal, we're holding up very well above the 6th of November, where we had resistance. We have now got support there at the moment. So Pulsex doing pretty well. We can see the RSI is starting to rise at 44. Plenty of room to move on that. That is on the weekly chart. Looking at the daily, you can see the daily there also looking pretty good. We had that bullish crossover here with the 13-day over the 34-day. The RSI has cooled off after that big rally that we had. Cooled off there, but still holding up relatively strong compared to Pulsechain. And here we are looking pretty good at the moment. Almost about to get back over the 13-day moving average. So fingers crossed on that. We've failed a couple of times here. So really need to, but we haven't had break of that support. So we really need to get that motion on there. But kind of looking good is the old Pulsex. So that's pretty much it on the 4 hourly there. We can see that we're down at 46 on that. So the 4 hourly there, hopefully we taper off here and move back up. So need to get another cross on that one at the moment. So a little bit in no man's land, but still we're looking very good. As you can see on the weekly, if we go back to that longer time frame, on the long time frame, we're looking pretty good on this chart. So pretty cool. All right, so let's see where we go here. Now, obviously, if we manage to break out, then we're probably wanting to look to get to 4,100, right, on that next move. 4,100 would be pretty cool before we face some sort of horizontal resistance, albeit it's weak horizontal resistance, but nevertheless, there's probably a target there for us. On the bearish case, we're talking about 1,900 again. That would be on the downside. So there we go. Quite a bit of a range there. Pulsex looking pretty strong in my view. Incentive token, let's go here. Your best friend if you're farming. All right, we're at the top range at the moment. And look at this thing, like a boss. So Pulsechain went down. but Incentive Token went up, and PulseX is looking strong. So there we go. It looks pretty good, that relativity play. And yeah, 61,000, we breached that, and up and away to 71, we breached that. Then we're off to the races, right? $2.50 becomes $10, $20. That could happen pretty fast on a re-rate when we get that FOMO. We see it back here, right, on the weeklies. Saw that, we've seen it before, and this chart is looking very good for it at the moment, and plenty of room on the RSI. Looking to the daily, see the daily, the RSI at 55. So yeah, doing pretty well as the old Incentive Token. Now Hex at the moment, got to be the best pickup, right? We have breached the 50, and you know, if we went down to 61.8, that's 5,300. That's the bearish scenario here for this one. We're currently at 5,500, just below it. And of course, we've got a bit of support there, 5,200. So 52 to 5,300, got to be the support line on the bearish case. But in any case, it is pretty good value to pick up. We're currently at 43 on the RSI, so it's not completely oversold. So it can potentially move down to that 52, 5,300 mark. But at 5,500, looking pretty solid at the moment. Yeah, maybe we just start to move sideways for a little while in this previously resistance zone here. So let's see how we get on there. Good buy, good pickup, good buy for Hex at the moment. Anything under that, yeah, the orange line is particularly good. Let's go to the weekly, have a quick look at that. The weekly at the moment, yeah, anything under here, I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic. 1 cent Hex on Pulsechain, kind of a no-brainer, right? Very cool. We can see that it can re-rate pretty fast. You can see these other green candles on the week, so we can have a re-rate like that pretty fast. So you know, if you do miss out, you're going to be pay out a lot higher on the way in. And I think eventually we'll get to a point where the market's finished accumulating zone, and it's just off to the races, right? And you won't get any more of this weakness like this here that we've had for, you know, since March. So keep aware of that. Once it goes, and we'll be on the opposite way instead of a downtrend on the uptrend. Hex, of course, down weakest we can see it just at the moment, just below 1/1200th of a penny. So super buy down here, but not fully oversold yet. Given the trend at the moment, could weaken off. So just take care there. Might get down to 1/10th of a penny, something like that. That's definitely looking the weaker out of all of them. But maybe it's the best pickup in some ways, because you can get that relativity play, that percentage play on a rebound. And you pick up so much volume at the moment. So there we go. That's the Hex. This we're going to look at the Hex derivatives. Nothing really green except for Hedron on Pulsechain, just up slightly, 1/10%, but not much. Sitting there, Hedron. Everything else is pretty much down or flat. Looking at the stable coins on Pulsechain, everything else is pretty, you know, not much to see here really. Everything's, all the stable coins are around peak except for Coast, which is at 96.5 cents, 96 cents there. LUSD, our 2 speculative ones, LUSD, or 4 speculative ones, are all at the bottom. They're pretty much down. Now, the big mover down today is a PDI. PDI down pretty hardcore, folks. Look at that. Woo! Hot doggity dog. Boy, oh boy. So is it over? Is it over for the old PDI narrative? It is. We're expecting potentially a little cup there and go through, but we've continued to break down on the old PDI. And of course, we know it's going to find a bottom at some stage, but where is it? It is definitely looking pretty ominous there at the moment. Let's go look at the weekly, get that real long-term view. And let's see here. So maybe we could find some support at 11/100th of a penny. We're currently at 16/100th of a penny, and we've been down to 13/100th. So maybe we might get a bit of support here in that zone. So let's see what happens there. Yeah, 11/100th of a penny, kind of the next place there. RSI not fully oversold yet, so it's only down at 39 on the weekly. So definitely got potential to move further down. But on the daily, it is hitting the oversold period. So a good chance it will consolidate in this range. So fingers crossed there at the moment. On the 4 hourly, how are we looking there? Yeah, oversold. So we might get a little bit of a bounce from here. So just keep a look out there. Pretty speculative in any case. But if you manage to pick up the bottom and then it makes another rally, finally rallies up, then, you know, mad gains that we'll still see. Pretty speculative though. And of course, the other one is LUSD, which is the other big speculative play there. Just slowly drifting down as well. So we'll see. And of course, the buy and burn hasn't been overly impressive yet. So yeah, 5% or so. So not really heading towards that big, you know, was it 90%, 95% burn in 5 months or so. So yeah, we'll see. I think it was, how much did I say it was? 10 trillion or something like that, 15 trillion, somewhere in that ballpark they wanted to burn. But that's not happening. All right, let's go to the influencer coins. We've got Axis Alive making a move, and I had a feeling the other day that Axis Alive was going to move. I don't think I mentioned it though, but when I was looking at it, I was almost going to mention it, but I didn't do it. But anyway, it's up by 20% today at 10,466. Let's have a quick zoom on Axis Alive token. Obviously, he's an influence in the Pulsechain, X Place, and a TA guy. And here we are. We've got a big bounce back in the chart there today after having that slide for a couple of weeks. Now is managing to make 10,466. Was that the bottom? Was the bottom in at 8,500? We shall see. Going to need some formations to form there. And I don't have an RSI on here. Let's pull up an RSI. There's a general good guide there. Yeah, so it got down to 37. Is just over 50. So it could definitely have some room to move to the upside. May face some resistance at 13K. Probably where we are sitting there for the old Axis Alive, but making a little bit of rebound there. What else is of interest here? Nothing much. Paul Plebs pretty much even. The one that's down at the moment was Matty Allen. Remember, Matty Allen was making a recovery. It is down 27% today. Wow. So really getting smashed there after the little bullish recovery. That big run there. It died the first time, right? Died out. Then it had a big rally again, back up to $5. And now down at $2. And it's been as low as $1.68 on the daily here. So, pretty volatile stuff there. Might give you a bit of a heart attack if you're on that one, right? A bit of a heart attack. All right. Okay, don't die. All right, so that's pretty where we are at the moment. Let's go to overall coins on the old Pulsechain and see where we are on the volumes. So we're at 15.5 million volume. Wait, that's great. Fortunately, it's a lot of negativity in there, but that is actually great. 15.5 million, and PulseX is looking good, right? PulseX incentive holding up pretty well. So some good volume there. 15.5 million. That's great to see. We were down at 7.7 million yesterday. This is a weekday volume, right? So we really were looking for better things. So it's nice to see a doubling of volume there. In any case, 231,000 transactions as well. I think yesterday we had 107,000. So it's nice to see the transactions up. That's very good. Certainly good for the buy and burn as well on PulseX. Let's have a look at the leaders there. Axis Alive leading. We've talked about that. Hexfire up 5% as well. I don't think we saw that on the chart that we were looking at. Maybe that fell off my influencer coins. Orange Man good there. The Tang Gang. They are a gang, for sure. 2.9%. We got, what else there? PulseX. Yes, PulseX sitting at number 11. So there we go with some pretty good volume. 2.3 million volume in there. So kind of cool. Over 1,000 makers on the chart at 1.8%. So not too bad. We'll give some honorable mentions to BBC token from 9inch. And of course, UFO there related to PDGC project. That DAO ecosystem, along with Alien, I believe, is up 1%. So a little bit of the gain there. Yeah, so look like we've got PulseX and Incentive token hitting the greens, pretty much it. And honorable mention to Loan token, one of our biggest protocols there, DeFi protocols, managing to be trending there as well. So that's pretty much it on that. That is Pulsechain. Let's go to Hex quickly. Before we get to Hex, though, let's have a look at the rest of the markets and gas prices at the moment. 448,000 beats, 7/10 of a penny for a PulseX swap, 400 of a penny for a Pulse coin transfer, and 1/10 of a penny, I should say, for a PRC20 transfer. There we go. Normally I just say that quite fluidly. I don't know why I tongue twisted on that. We got validators at the moment, 48,625, and we got 1.56 trillion off the market. Kind of cool. And then let's go to the bridge. This is our big health check, right? How healthy is it? Well, we're down slightly again. $98.7 million. And we got PDI actually holding up. Sorry, not PDI, EDI holding up there, 28.9 million. So that's not doing too bad. Obviously, with Ethereum down and Bitcoin down, that's dragging the bridge values down. USDC and USD Tether, and you haven't got a snapshot of those, but that's ticking their way there. And EHEX there is sliding as well, right? So 7.7. So there we are. We've got a few weaknesses amongst ETH, EHEX, and Bitcoin. Also, Coast is down, right? It's down at 96.5 cents on Coast dollar. So that's probably dragging this down as well. Hence why we're down from what we're 99 million something, 99.6 million yesterday or something. Looks like we're down to 98.7. So almost $1 million with those drags downs. I haven't checked Pulse alerts to see where there's actual volumes of stablecoins that USDC or Tether have moved, but that is where we are on the moment. All right. Now let's have a quick look at the other stablecoins because they'll give us an idea of how much how much other stuff we've got going there. So we've got PSDC, $1.7 million of that at the moment. HexDC is at 900, just below $1 million basically on that, and USDL at $9.6 million. So those are all backed by Richard Hart coins, right? So USDL by Pulse, PXDC by Pulsex, and HexDC by Hex. So those are ticking away there. So if we add all those up, how much money we got? Well, we got 9, 10, 11.3, $12.3 million in those 3 stable coins. And if we add Coast on there, then, you know, another $4.3 million on top of that. So was that about 15 million bucks, something like that? All I was going to say is that we cannot wait for PUSD Algo. So I don't know if Jacob's out there listening, but bring it on. If Jacob said that several months ago he was going to go beast mode, I think maybe Mafia is part of that gamification there. But beast mode, open up more keys, and maybe Pulse Mafia, so a PUSD Algo will accelerate quicker too. Who knows the connections that could be possible? So looking forward to that. And of course, that will solve the stablecoin trilemma and scalability. And we'll actually get a lot of these stablecoins actually used in the market. You know, that's the key that we want. And that's the thing that other stablecoins are kind of missing. We know that a lot of these USDL, PXDC, HexDCs, they're staked, right? They're staked. So a lot of it's off the market, not really moving around. We want that movability. And PUSD Algo potentially offers that chance. So the links to the video description if you want to get into that sacrifice, which is still open for an extended period. But I think could be a massive, you know, Terra Luna done right? Terra Luna, full DeFi Terra Luna. That's what we want to see. And of course, a game changer for the for Pulsechain. All right, that's kind of cool. That's where we are there at the moment. Let's have a look at the old Hex, see whether we've got updates there. I don't know if we've got the latest dates here. We've just started day, what day? It's day 1704. We've just started on Hex on Ethereum, but we haven't got the Pulsechain data out yet. A little bit delayed there. So let's get into the chat and say hello to a few more people. We're how many? 41 minutes on the hour. So doing an absolutely super fast job today of covering all the markets. How about that? Yeah, that beautiful connection between Ethereum and Pulsechain that Richard's been promoting. Magic Cartwright connection is a huge bullish thing for the future of Pulsechain. And the prices at the moment where the markets are looking gorgeous to pick up. So let's see what people have done in the poll. We've got how many votes? Let's find out. Let's have a look here and see where that is at. What are you doing on Pulsechain at the moment? Buying, DCAing 50%. We got 18 votes. So big shout out. That's 9 people out of 18 buying DCA. I think that's a pretty smart move over the next 6 weeks in particular. Hodling 38%. We've got selling 5%, a little nervousness there. Unsure of what to do 5%, and that's perfectly fine. It's probably, if you're unsure, probably good to, you know, watch a lot of TA guys, you know, balance up all the views and get a sense of that. And hopefully we give you some good fundamental analysis here as well, because we try to cover all the fundamentals that are going on that are bullish or negative. Like I said, the only thing that's a wild card negative is the oral hearings, which is a big deal in October. So I won't, you know, water that down. But I think we got pretty bullish news coming up with that response from Richard Hart with the dismissal case coming up in the 22nd of August. So that is only a couple of weeks away. I think that's a pretty bullish thing for the Pulsechain. The other thing, of course, is if Trump wins the election, being pro-crypto, he's talked about the firing Gary Gensler and resetting the SEC regulations, clarity there, and not attacking crypto. So that's definitely something that's bullish, and an insurance policy to some degree as well, should the dismissal not go through. Although I think he's got a very good case, and he's got the dream team pushing it, right? The dream team pushing the old dismissal case there. Let's see what else. Who else has jumped in here? We got Colt says, man, deals everywhere today. Good day for Pulse. Yeah, I agree with that. That was a good comment. Let's see who else. Jumping through all those comments. Colt says, please shill me this dog on BTC. Swore I'd never bet on BTC, but their good deal is a good deal. It is a very good deal right now. Colt Hodgkins, I should say. Looking very good for a pickup there. Jay Purport. So even though we cover Pulsechain most, you still need to have a good diversified portfolio in crypto. So let's not forget that. It's a very good principle of crypto. But you're trying to pick the unicorns, right? Trying to pick the ones that are really going to crush it. It's very important there. Jay's in the house says deflationary yield-bearing assets. Not sure we're heading with that. What else do we got? Well, you know, you've got liquid loans and Power City, all the blue chips on Pulsechain. I think that's where you're heading there, JP. What else there? You might be talking about some of the DAO ecosystems like PDDC. They definitely offer certain aspects to that as well. Are you referring to Atropa coins, RH coins, PRC20 coins? Yeah. Well, a lot of people in the early days were picking up, accumulating PRC20s, and that's worked out for a lot of people. I know people that have done that, and it's worked out very nicely for them indeed. All right, kind of cool. All right, let's see if the Hex result. Yeah, we got it. We got the Hex in. Let's have a quick look at that. So we've got at the moment a Pulsechain. What did I say? I say it was 446. I think it was 446. 31st of July, the last day of summer, the last day of winter, depending on where you are in the world. And we got the payouts are fantastic. Look at that! What a reward for the end of summer there. 7.6. Well, it's at end of. I guess it's still the last day of summer in the United States, because it's probably evening or afternoon. Whereas here in New Zealand, we're already on the 1st of August. So 7.639 hex per T-share. A fantastic day in the office. Looking pretty good. But look at that share rate. Jumped 80. I've had two big moves, 108 and 80 in the last 10 days, moving to 35,657 on the Hex, on the share rate for Pulsechain. It's a pretty big move. Let's have a look at the shares. Shares, look at this, down, 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 sitting at 9,179,000 T-shares on Pulsechain. Crazy numbers there. Let's have a look at the rewards. Oh man. So we had 5.5 million, and then we had 9.5 million in Hex penalties. It's now sitting at 70 million in the Hex rewards. So man, if you're in Hex, you've been getting paid on Pulsechain. Man, that is so good. So yeah, 35 increase in liquid holders, but 16 down in the miners, 120,285. Now this is something we're going to look out for at the end of the year for Hex. Is we've got those 10-year miners that Hex launched what the second third of December 2019. So you take 10 years on just that, you talk about 2029, right? And then half that. So you're talking about this end of this year, December through to January, February, March, somewhere like that, into next year. We could see potentially, depending where the Hex prices, depends on where the Hex prices, I think, we could see potentially a lot of 50% end stakes happening on. And that could be a theme for the summer, our summer period, your winter in the north. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see that around Christmas time and so the new year. How much of that will we see? So I think we're going to see some of it for sure. So it's going to be interesting. And if Hex is rallying in that fourth quarter, wow, yeah, it's definitely going to happen, right? So that'd be fun to see. Fun, he says. All right, we might pull up that chart sometime as well and talk about that. Was it Sandy Beach? The last day of my birthday month, says. Birthday month, says Sandy. Man, you are a party girl. That's for sure. Last day of summer is in September. Is it? Oh, did I get the month wrong? Did I get the month wrong for you? 2 quarters there, 2 quarters. How can it be in September, man? How can it be in September? All right. Sandy's just creating a new year for herself, new year, where birthdays last a month and summers last 6 months. All right. Well, 5 months, let's say, 5 months. All right. So that is pretty much it. I think we're going to wrap up there. 48 minutes in the live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it today. Yeah, pretty bullish on that poll. Very, very cool. The other thing I was going to say to you is get into our Discord. Link is in the chat there, pinned up the top. $5 a month, pretty good value, great community. I'm going to be making a few changes in Discord, so look forward to that. And the other thing, if you want to join Strategy Club, $35 a month, join up today. Links in the video description. You can use Wookie's link as well. I think he had it up there in the chat somewhere, but definitely worth checking out. All right, bullish news from the Fed today, September, man. Interest rate pivot. It's going to be good, folks. Things are ramping up for crypto. You got Tom Lee talking about 100 to 150K by the end of the year. It's going to happen fast. We've got 5 months to go to the end of the year. It's going to happen fast. And you guys know when it kicks in. Right now is this weakness period. That's when you want to accumulate, potentially lasting into September, maybe mid-September, and then game on, or flame on. As they would say, flame on. It's going to be cool. All right, let's play out a cool video on the way out. Take care, everybody, and I'll catch you again tomorrow. Peace out. Bye for now.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.
It's fun to watch Hex pumping up the charts. It's left behind all kinds of broken hearts who didn't buy the dip, who didn't DCA. And now that we're on a rip, it's hard to look away. Now I'm not the one to hand out free advice, but as for me, I wouldn't dare think twice about buying a bag, since we're still somewhat down. This rocket ship's about to break the speed of sound. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. I tip my hat to everyone who minds. You're getting paid out while you're killing time. It makes room for a nice vacation to the beach, perhaps a celebration now that you are rich. Ha ha! Ignore the haters who all called you crazy. You studied hard while they were being lazy. Now you're packing bags, about to take a ride up on that rocket ship, mooned up and starry-eyed. I feel these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Now that we're summer bound and the sun is bright, I see that it's not round but rather has 6 sides. It's a work of art that's written into code, designed by Richard Hart to make our bags explode. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Yeah, we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco.